Welcome to Dilly Barr's Song Club. Dilly Barr's Song Club. Today we're going to be reviewing Song Machine number 1, Strange Times by Gorillaz. Today I'm joined by Rebecca.
Howdy.
So this is how I think we should do this is I'm gonna say my opinion on each song and then you say yours right after. Especially
Okay.
since you seem to have the longer notes anyways. But so Strange Times, I think starting off the album, it had a very strong cinematic start. It just kind of felt a really good way to start the album, and Damon was featured quite often, like singing wise, which he hasn't been, especially with Humans, which is what I compare this album a lot to because of the amount of like features and things like that it relies on. So to have him sing a decent amount on that was a good way to start. Robert Smith, I thought was a good feature for the song. He doesn't overpower the song, but he keeps a good gorilla style. Is what I say.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna start this off by saying I absolutely love Robert Smith.
Yeah, I've never heard of him until this song, but
So, if you know anything about, well, you just said you didn't, but, Robert Smith is the lead singer for The Cure, which I grew up listening to The Cure. My dad loves The Cure. And it's just a completely different, like, type of music that they play. It's really awesome and I love it. And throughout this song, it was like a mix between the Gorillaz and the Cure because Robert Smith's voice is so like iconic to the Cure's sound. It's just that it was a really cool like feature to have on there, I thought. And then I never would have thought to put them together, but it worked really well. Um and what a great song to start off with
yeah,
the album, you
it was a really good song, and I never thought about it when they released um, they released these like episode like things for the beginning of Song Machine. So like their singles, they kind of like made it like episodes or whatever. And they released
know.
that one, and I didn't really think too much of the song. It was an okay song, but the way to start the album, I think it did a really good job. Um,
Yeah.
but is that all you have on that one?
Yeah, same.
All right, so Valley of Pagans. I didn't know what to expect with a Beck feature, but I was looking forward to it when I heard about it, and it reminded me a lot of like a Plastic Beach type song, and uh, I think Beck did a really good job. I didn't have too many other opinions on it other than that. I just really liked the style of production that Beck was on it, like pretty strong.
Yeah. So, again, I absolutely love Beck as well. So, all these songs where they have features of people I really like, I ended up liking a lot because, it's just Gorillaz and then somebody else that I like smashed together and it's like a good combo. Um, it was a different sound than the first song, which was great. And, like, at points, it did sound like a Beck song when he was singing,
Yeah,
but like then there were little parts of the song that reminded me that this is a Gorillaz song. It was like a push and pull of style, but it was really good still.
and I think that's a lot of the album. I have to say is like that. When you have at least the ones that I know personally of the artist, it kind of goes back and forth between their styles, but it does subtly, but it really works well.
Yeah.
All right, and the Lost Chord. I didn't really have much to say about this. It wasn't a bad song, but it wasn't like mind blowing. I said vibey and groovy. There wasn't a lot to say about it. So
Um I said it was groovy. Yeah. Um I said um I think this was the like calm down track
yeah,
after the two awesome songs we just had before it. And then I mean, it was still groovy, but I felt like it was a little sad too, a little
yeah.
melancholy. But you know, I don't know, ups and downs, I guess.
All right, and this is a song I was looking forward to, which was Pac Man. I've always wanted a Schoolboy Q feature. It's one of the really like songs that made me excited to hear the album. Um, but pr- the production on it was really well. Uh, I really like how the evolution they've changed they've like evolved and they've changed the production to be more of this kind of hip hop style when they need it to be, but they still kind of stick to the roots and keep the like iconic sounds and production style that they have. So I really like the mix, and Schoolboy Q was a really good feature. I really love his verse, and he didn't overpower at all, which I think that's something Gorillaz has always done really well, is where they get features that never overpower. Even when the song is purely just about that other person, somehow Gorillaz is still the most prominent role in that song. So
Mhm. I'm gonna be honest. I was not looking forward to this song because I actually don't like Schoolboy Q at all. Um, but when I listened to it, it was actually really good. I liked his feature a lot, and um, like I don't normally listen to him at all, but I really liked the song in general. It reminded me a lot of older Gorilla songs.
yeah,
Um, just with like production, I suppose, like you said. But that was pretty much it. I was really surprised by this one. So,
and Chalk Tablet Towers. Uh, it was a very groovy production and upbeat production. Uh, and like honestly, I just saw this more as um, this was more of a production kind of song, and I think another calm down one, because I think it picked like Lost Chord was, it calmed down between the first two and then into Schoolboy Q. But for the next song, I feel like there was a lot of anticipation for this song, the next one. So I think it just calmed you down, and it was just more of, I think, Damon flexing his producing skills, in my opinion, and I think he did a good job of that.
oh, I was actually gonna say, the song was F for me.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it was like
Great. Yeah,
yeah.
I know, I get it. But I just, you know, I don't know. I saw Saint Vincent in like live. I wasn't really impressed with her. I liked one song she had or something. She's a really good guitar player. Um, I'm not sure quite what her feature was, other than like ad libs in the
I
background or
think that's all
something.
it was.
But like, I feel like she could have played a bigger role. But I don't know. It's just something to think about, I
Because I think
suppose.
the thing is with how this album was made, I think it was a lot of Damon taking a step back to people, and I think this one in particular was him not taking a step back and just kind of doing his own thing, and I think that's why it sounded the way it did.
Mhm.
All right, and Pink Phantom, by far my favorite song in this album. I I've always wanted an Elton John feature. This album just keeps giving out features that I've always wanted. Um, I so many good things to say about it, other than the fact that I don't know how to pronounce his name, Six Lack or Six or Black, however his name's pronounced. I think he was really out of place, and I don't know. Like maybe if he actually came on and rapped or something like that, it would be fine. But I think just auto tune singing out of nowhere was did not fit at all, and I did not like that. Um, what else? It was a very nice, slow, and emotional song, which was good because for the most part, we've had pretty upbeat, at least production styles. So this was nice to have a little bit of a slower, emotional song in it. And I think Damon and Elton did a really good job of singing in this song. So that's all I have for that.
Um, I disagree. I really didn't like the song at all. The features on it were a bit strange. Well, like you said, but I didn't like Elton John's part in it either. Gonna be honest. I don't know. It was just a little off-putting for me with the whole contrast of the features and stuff like that. It turned me off a lot. So that's all I'm gonna
I do.
say.
I do think. I'm now that I'm thinking about it though. I still loved his feature, but Ellen John's feature to me though seemed a little bit. It seemed really soft. Like I think that it was like probably it was probably just quickly put together, probably quickly thrown in, and I do kind of see it that way too.
Yeah.
So I think it could have been better, but to me, I think it was fine. I think it went pretty well how it was, so I'm not too upset about it. And Aries, I said it was a good positive production. The features kind of take a back seat. And then when it comes to
Sorry, you keep going. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say in a second.
when it comes to singing, it was like it was really nice to hear and a nice change of pace. All right, you go ahead.
I loved this song. Let me tell you, I fucking love Peter Hook. Do you know who Peter Hook is?
I do not. We seem to know
Okay,
different people.
so yeah, I know everything except today's rap, basically. But Peter Hook was the bass player for Joy Division back in the day, and after Ian Curtis, their lead singer, died, they became New Order. If you know who they are, I don't think you do.
No.
Um, and he was the bass player for them. So the iconic like bass lines throughout, that's all Peter Hook, and that was like my favorite part of the whole song because it took me back to like Joy Division and New Order, and it was such a great feature for me. I think it was so diverse. I wasn't expecting him to be on here at all. You know, it. I don't know. It was just really good.
It was a really good song. I didn't know that I didn't know him personally, so
Mhm. That's all I have to say about it.
okay.
I like it.
And then Friday the 13th, I said Octavian starts off strong. It's a good song for the middle of the album, so it's not too crazy, not too tame. And I said it was kind of a breather, but not bad at all. That's what I have to say about that.
I have the opposite opinion. I didn't like it. I liked everything except the rapping. It's just not my style, I suppose.
It was a sloppy type. It was pretty
Yeah,
sloppy type rapping.
I don't like that. So it's
Yeah,
okay.
I get that.
It's just personally for me, it's not something I enjoy.
And like I said, it's in the
I know
middle.
other people do. So
It's in the middle, so it's kind of like that. It's kind of that time that you kind of lose people in an album, but then I feel like now they're about to start going with throwing out a lot of good songs, and then so I think this one was kind of one last breather before the finale, I guess, is what I have to say. Um, Dead Butterflies. This was something I did not expect, but I really liked it. It was really nice to hear a mix between production with Damon and Mike Will made it. I really did not expect that, but it was a nice switch of styles back and forth that they did. Um, and there wasn't a lot of like singing from Damon, which that's fine. It was definitely more of a Mike Will song, which was weird, but I don't think it was bad at all. It was just kind of out of nowhere, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I said that it was vibey and stuff like that. Something to chill to perhaps, but um, I don't necessarily like it because I don't like trap sounds.
Yeah, and this was a
That's why
trap
I don't.
song.
Yeah, that's why I don't like listening to you know a lot of today's music because of the trap sounds in it. But I don't know. It's just not for me. But you know, that's how that goes with some stuff. I know a lot of songs on this album are for me, like Aries and the first two songs or whatever that I talked about. I was really excited for because of the features. But also, I know on the flip side, there's songs I really just don't like. It's either I love them or I hate them, I think. Or they're just there. So,
All right, and then Desolé. I said it has a nice Latin style that Damon's always very strong at, but it is featuring a like African artist. So I don't know if that was really the whole point of it was to sound Latin, but to me, I thought it was kind of a nice Latin kind of sound thing that he always does. But I don't really have too much to say about it. Again, it was one of those songs that was just kind of there. It was he always tries to put in like world music and stuff like that, and this one was just kind of there. I didn't really hate it, didn't really love it.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say that I really love this song actually. Um, it was one of my favorites, I think, off the album. It reminded me a lot of Belle and Sebastian. Um, I'm just gonna assume you don't know them.
No.
Yeah. So Belle and Sebastian's a really good group that I like. Grew up with them too. Um, I love the vibe of the song. Love the sound of it. It's very cute and very light. Something I would very much like. So
To me, it's a very good song, but it's kind of like to me in my opinion, it's kind of a forgettable song. It might change in the future, but when I listen to it, I enjoy it. But I feel like it's just kind of going to be forgettable, and I don't know.
I
It doesn't.
yeah, I also agree. Um, I mean, I suppose to today's standards, a lot of these songs that get popular are going to be the ones that I don't like. um, but I don't know. It's just if you like it, listen to it.
All right, and then momentary bliss. This one I've heard so many times because it was the first one that came out from the album when they did the episodic thing, and I said that this is honestly a perfect cast for a Gorillaz song. Slaves has has such a like good voice for a Gorillaz song, and he doesn't do anything like that on his like personal, at least that I've heard. Um, and Slow Thigh, I'd never heard of Slow Thigh until this song, but I really enjoyed his rapping style, and I listen to him a lot now after I heard that song. But I really enjoy the fact that whenever there's a different person on the song, the beat kind of changes to fit their style a little bit more, and I really like how they did it because they did it nice and smooth, so you don't really notice it switching, but it's there and it feels right when it's happening.
Mhm. I'm gonna say yeah. I honestly love this song too. I know before I said that I hated trap, but this worked for me actually. I think. Um, I love the features. I love the beat, everything. It kind of gave me a Rancid vibe. Um, assuming you don't know what Rancid is, but
Nope.
Rancid was like I'm a Scottish punk band. And the way he sang, I suppose, or his like accent reminded me of that. Um, it was very good. I liked it a lot. So
All right, and opium. Uh, opium felt it was strange because it's one of those songs that doesn't. It's probably gonna be weird to hear this. It's one of those songs that doesn't feel like a song to me. It's like a whole like show and production that you hear and not really see. It's very ambient and vibey, and the build up to Earth Gang was really nice because you never heard that you didn't hear them for a long time, and then all of a sudden they're in, and I think they the song was still really strong by the time it got to them. You didn't get bored of the instrumental, and then they got to them, so the song just kept going up, um, and like just everything feels right. And this is one of my favorite songs in the album, in my opinion.
no, yeah, I agree with everything you said. It's very vibey. Um, something you can just listen to for a long time and not get bored of. Like you tune into it. I was like writing as I was listening to it, and it would like grab my attention sometimes, and I'd have to stop and listen to what I was listening to. It was really good. I liked it a lot.
All right, and then simplicity. I said calm, and the beat was really simple. Probably it was supposed to be because it was called simplicity, and it was very jazzy. But my biggest complaint is the voices. Like both voice parts, I feel like were mixed really weird, and I couldn't. Honestly, I don't know if it was just because I was tired at this point for writing down all the notes, but I just couldn't hear the voices at that point. Like I could hear them, but I didn't know what anyone was saying really, and it just kind of turned the whole song off for me.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I really liked this one. I thought their voices worked very well together. Like they complemented each other. It was very groovy, and I thought it almost sounded like a jam session.
Yeah, I
Um,
can get that. I get that vibe too from that.
yeah, but I liked it a lot. I enjoyed listening to it. So
I mean, it'll probably grow on me. That's kind of how a lot of grow stuff can be for me. Um, I don't know. It just wasn't. I didn't really like how their voices sounded together for me personally, but um,
Mhm.
and then we have Severed Head. I just said a nice jazzy sound. Goldlink has a nice style coming in, and I didn't really have much to say. It was really nice jazzy and all of that.
Um, at first, the whole introduction of the song, I got kind of bored. I thought it needed a little more, but then when the vocals came in, it grabbed my attention a little more, and I started liking it a little bit. But I don't really know.
The song was just kind of like I don't really ever have this too much with Gorillaz, but the song was just kind of boring to me personally. Like I really just thought it was boring.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then did I forget to write down a note? Oh, I know I didn't. All right. So with Love to an X, I said it was a really nice experimental style that I didn't expect. Um, it was just like I mean, Gorillaz has always been experimental, but I feel like this was just a whole different type of experimental, and I really liked it. And that's all I got for that.
I'm gonna say I didn't like this song at all. It was just too much for me,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't like the vocals either, so that didn't help. Um,
I think it was kind of at that point. It's one of those songs that it's like, well, not everyone's gonna get, but I feel like the people that get it really like it, and the people that don't get it don't like it.
yeah.
It's that kind of style of music. All right, and then MLS was probably my most anticipated song for the album, and I think JPEG Mafia could have done way much more. Because I was very excited to have him as a feature, but he didn't do that much. He's a very experimental rapper, and him with Gorillaz made me very excited because how their styles could mesh. But he just kind of came on and rapped normally, and he did a really good job as just a rapper on a song. And if I never listened to JPEG Mafia and I didn't have so much anticipation, I would have probably loved this song a lot more. And I still love it, just not as much as I could have. But I think Chai had a really good sound that it made it sound kind of classic to Gorillaz, but had JPEG Mafia on there, so it sounded new at the same time, and I really like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. So before I heard the song, I already love JPEG Mafia. Which is kind of weird, I guess, for you to hear me say that because I don't like anything. But my brother turned me on to him, and I thought his feature was really good, actually. Because JPEG Mafia is such an experimental artist, I didn't think that. I guess I didn't know what I was going to expect for this song, but um, I suppose that JPEG Mafia went more towards the Gorillaz side and like did what he needed to do to fit within the boxes of the Gorillaz songs. And
Yeah,
he sounded really good. I liked his verse and stuff. But I can see what you mean with him bringing experimental stuff and then Damon bringing experimental stuff as well and then making one big experimental explosion. But that didn't happen, and I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I still really enjoyed it.
yeah,
It
I did enjoy it too. It's one of my it's definitely top on the album, anyways. But
yeah.
I think it could have elevated the album so much more because Gorillaz has always been good with mixing styles like that. And he's perfect for Gorillaz, but I just didn't think that we got the feature that anyone really expected.
Yeah.
All right. And now the final song we have "How Far," and I was very excited because we finally got a Skepta feature on a Gorillaz song, and he didn't disappoint me at all. To be honest, I think this was a really strong punch to the end because it was very kind of aggressive beat that Gorillaz has never really tried before, and it ended the album with energy where I think Gorillaz usually ends albums more of like the softer kind of depressing side. So I think this was a really kind of new way for them to end the album, and I really enjoyed it. And I think Tony Allen was really good too, but I was really happy to see a Skepta feature.
Um, this song was kind of for me. um, it's not really what I'm into. Um, Again, with like mostly album is like hit or miss for me, I suppose, because of the different styles and stuff. But I can definitely see how other people would like it. Um, yeah, that's all I've got to say about it.
All right, and so for overall, I think it was a very good Gorillaz album. It took the concept that they tried in Humans of having like, a completely feature album, but they kept a really they kept a really consistent style. Whereas with Humans, I think they definitely did a lot of other people's styles instead of trying to keep a consistent style. And I said there wasn't really a bad feature other than my opinions on the six select part. It wasn't great, but other than that, everyone else did a really good job on what they came in to do. Um, and as a Gorillaz fan, I really wanted to see a lot of these artists like Elton John, Beck, JPEG Mafia, and Skepta. So this is by far my favorite album of 2020, and it's honestly probably up there for Gorillaz albums too.
Well, my overall, I thought this was a pretty good album. It had some features that I really, really liked. You know, um, Beck, uh, Robert Smith, of course, Peter Hook. Um, I don't know. There were just some real bangers in here, and then other ones were just like, "Ooh, I don't know what you're doing." Um, but I don't know. It's not my favorite album, but like I'll listen to some of the songs again for sure. Um, I don't know. I think I just have an opposite, um, opinion about it than you do because our tastes in music are very different. I am a Gorillaz fan. I love the Gorillaz. Just like older Gorillaz though, stuff I grew up with. But you know,
All right, I think that'll do it for our first song club. Um, if anyone's listening, they can suggest albums and stuff for us to review. But I think that'll be it. See you guys.